ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
It's me. Welcome to the Roundtable. Welcome to Roundtable number 88. It is you know what else is round? This ring on my finger. This ring on my finger. Oh. I guess he liked it, so he put a ring on it. And I sure like it and love it too. And I am so excited to be here to celebrate with you all. Thank you for all the love and support and the crazy fun that you've shown us and the love and support that you've shown us all to each and every one of you from Darius and myself. So much love. Thank you so much. I know. I teased the pre-show. I teased the pre-show. I told them I wouldn't tell the story till we got here. It was a tease. You know? It's good. Yeah, see? Lattes wants me to spill it. Christine, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, you want the story? I'm ready to tell you the story. Are you ready for a fun week in review? Holy cannoli. You talk about a week in... We've had fun week in reviews. But before I get to the week in review, here's my hot take.
It's smoking.
Well, you know, as a taken spud, as a married spud, as they say in Toy Story, some of you have been in relationships. What's your advice? What's your marriage tips? Yes, I want to know. What tips did you have if you've been around the block? Maybe you've been married. Maybe you've been divorced. Maybe you're married and divorced. Maybe you want to be divorced. Maybe you want to be married. Just tell me or send well wishes or do something fun. But I thought that was a good question because it was going to be about New Year's until I was engaged. We're going to try not to cry. Are you ready? Let's tell the story. Oh, we're crying already. So, Christmas. I haven't seen you since Christmas. And Christmas was really fun. I had a really great time at Christmas. Yes. You all loved it. You loved the PJs. I love the PJs too. Thank you to my friends Kristen and Kristen for the suggestion to get the PJs. And we had fun at my brother's house. My brother did a great job hosting Christmas Eve and Christmas Day early. There's my Darius. There's my brother and my sister-in-law. You know, my brother hates the attention, but we don't care because we keep giving it to him anyway. Well, and so we had a great time. And then my mom, comes for Christmas Eve. And here's we are. Here's my mama Rose and my Darius and me. We had fun. It was so nice. My God. It was so nice. My Darius and my dad over at my Uncle Bob's house. So we had a great Christmas. So Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Happy Hanukkah. Thank you. Happy holidays to everybody out there who celebrated. So let me tell you. Let me tell you, some things are private and personal, but I want to tell the story because I think it's important. I kind of told it a little bit earlier. I got booked the year of COVID in September to go out to Motor City Pride in Detroit to do a set of music at Hart Plaza for Motor City Pride, which is the only party. Motor City Pride is the only pride in the state of Michigan that is bananas. And there are many others and support them all, but they do it right at Motor City Pride. And I got booked and I was able to arrange it that it was the Sunday after Adrian and John's wedding on Saturday night. My cousin Adrian got married Saturday night. I woke up Sunday morning and I flew to Detroit. I had never been to Detroit. And the person who organized it was named Darius. And he was very sweet to me. And my publicist, Angela, sent me his email information and we exchanged emails. And we were cute and flirty. And he was really sweet. And he was very bold. And he was very confident. And I couldn't wait to meet him because we became friends through text. And I showed up. And his sister, I didn't know it was his sister at the time, let me in. And he came walking up the corridor, the front of this space. And he's the most beautiful, tall, sweet person. And his presence like knocked me out. And even though there's 50,000 people there, he checked on me the whole day. Like, here's a picture of us from 2 years, from those years ago that we took, that he was working and he still found me and made sure we did that. And then he asked me to go out for pizza afterwards. So we walked the city for hours and we ate pizza. He was exhausted. He had worked all day. And the next day he took me to brunch with his sister and he brought me to the Motown museum. And we stayed in contact and talked. And then for a bunch of circumstances and things that happened, we decided that we were going to be friends. And I decided to even give a little space because I didn't want to lead anyone on. I didn't want there to be a problem. This man has watched this show and has believed in us. I'm not going to cry. Don't cry. And has believed in me and has supported me and loved me through all the faults that I had in those years. And then a little over a year ago, about a year ago now, we started really talking again, which led to us being a couple for this past year. So we've been bouncing back and forth and making it work long distance and talking about a future and all of this stuff. And you all have seen how happy I am. You've all seen how excited I am. And you've all seen the thrill that I've had about being, more grounded and more with a smile and not stressing and worrying about everything every 5 seconds. So I was really excited that he came to me for Christmas, the only person who's ever come to Christmas with my family the whole time. And I was so excited that he was here. And I was so excited to do New Year's in Detroit. And I flew into New Year's. And there we are at the Detroit airport, and he surprised me, everyone. And he rented this loft, this condo that overlooked downtown Detroit, overlooked the Detroit Christmas tree, the ice skating rink, the Christmas village. Never told me. Rented it for the whole time. Gorgeous, beautiful. And we went and did all the family things. We saw his aunt, we saw his coworkers and all the fun stuff. And then he told me he had a surprise. So no, in typical Robert fashion, he gets up. And he tells me he'll be back in a few hours. And then Robert gets impatient and crazy and anxious because that's who he is. And I start to bust his bananas and say, where are you? Are you coming? Whatever. Can I give the guy some space? And he came with these roses and this beautiful card. And he brought me breakfast. And I thought that was a surprise. And then he said, no, it's a day of surprises. And we went shopping. And he's having me try on rings and he's playing it all cool. And he takes me to this beautiful fancy lunch and we eat and I'm eating crab cakes and he's drinking a martini and we're having deep conversation about the future and how much we care about each other and we're going to get engaged soon and all of this stuff. I was going to do it because Darius always said, I'm not asking. So I was ready. I was ready to do it. I had already told his sister. I had told his aunts. I had told his cousins. I had reached out to somebody in Detroit who maybe could help me plan something because I don't live there. I was ready to do it. We go shopping and he's chill, cool, calm, and collected Darius. I want a Cinnabon. Not stressed, just living his life. And we go get our nails done. And he made the deal for our nails. And most people would think that was a clue. But getting our nails done, we get our nails done whenever we're together. He gets it here when he's in Jersey. I get it when I'm in Detroit. So we got our nails done. And he brought me to this Christmas village. And we had a deep day of like really deep, beautiful conversation that I thought was what was the surprise. And he brings me to this Christmas village. And again, he walks around. Oh, there's a tree. Oh, there's a light up this. Oh, there's a light up that. It's a little restaurant, little this, that. And there's a human snow globe. And the humans, you don't have not commented. You all are riveted. I'm happy I'm giving you all the life. There's a human snow globe. This is that you could walk in. And we walk in and he sits and I sit. And me, ADD Robert, gets up, starts to walk around, look at the plugs. He walks out. And he brings me back in. And he goes and reaches. And I was like, oh no. Crying. Robert's crying and yelling. And of course I say yes. And the security comes over and congratulates us. And we call my mother and we call my father and we play music and amazing, right? It was beautiful. It was me and him and intimate. And there's the moment and there's the engagement in the tree. And we went to his families, surprised them. ate good food. It was so much fun to get calls and texts and reach out to people. And then what ended up happening is after that, we went home, we changed into big giant sweatpants, and we went in the street for midnight. And across the street from the place that he booked is the place that he took me the first night I met him, called Checker Bar in downtown Detroit, right on Campus Martius, right there in this by downtown Detroit. And it is an arcade and there's a bar and it serves pizza. And that's where we went the first night. At 11:45, we went in and he told the bartender our story, and she gave us a double shot of tequila. Well, America and the world, it's a celebration. I was floating on a cloud. So I drink that with an orange slice afterwards he gave me, and I get a White Claw because I think like, oh, I'm going to celebrate. We are celebrating this engagement. And Robert was a little drunk. A little drunk? Robert was a little drunk. But listen, before I tell you the fun part and show you the videos, that's fun. I want to say afterwards, he gave me one AirPod and he put the other AirPod in his ear and we walked around and listened to music on our playlist. He's the most romantic, beautiful person. I am the luckiest man. And when people ask me, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? All of those questions, it doesn't matter. I love you. You show up for me, you show out for me, and you love me. And I will always be there for you, and I will always hold your back, and I will always support you. And I love this, and I love you. Thank you for being and choosing me. It is the honor of my life, truly. My goodness. So before I cry, look at us. How cute are we? The cutest. So happy. So happy. I'm so happy. We've both been through a lot, and it's time to let the past go, and it's time to enjoy. It's time to enjoy our life, you know? So it was really beautiful. It was really, really special, and I am so overwhelmed by all of the love and support. You all showed a lot of love and support, thousands of comments and likes and messages and DMs and texts, and we, broke the internet. So you want to see Darius playing pinball? Yes. Look at go. He can do everything. He's playing pinball like a champion. That's my man. And you want to see?
They'll make you take away in the same boat with a lot of your friends.
That's Drunk Robert. This is Drunk Robert too. So all my friends who have wanted to see what Drunk Robert looks like, that's it right there. Drunk Robert. Drunk engaged Robert. Yeah. You know where I learned it from? My mother. You know why I say that? Because my mother taught us how to play beer pong at Christmas.
That's not gonna work.
All right, try that again, Ma. Go for it.
I was trying to do like
That's Shannon's for you. Here we are. Beer pong at Christmas. Thank you. Latte's crying. My mom says that we're sweet. Of course. Thank you, Alyssa. It is genuine love. There is, as he said to me, I don't need anything from you. You don't need anything from me. We're here because we want to be. And it's divine intervention. It's God. It's the universe. And it's really the greatest gift. And it's definitely been worth the wait. 100%. So we got one person sent advice for marriage, and it's my man. It's my hubs. Love hard and forgive harder. And I think that is pretty great advice. Don't you want a man like this? I mean, come on. Don't you want a man that's going to tell you to love hard and forgive harder? Because trust me, relationships are at work and marriage is work, right? So I love you all. Thank you for the love and support. I'm sure we will have plenty of exciting things to come. They've only just begun. The best is yet to come, Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you. I'm really grateful for it every day. So grateful. My mother is now saying it was with no beer. There was no beer in the cups. You're right. There was no beer in the cups. My mother, maybe diet soda, but not beer. While we're talking about all of this, I wanted to give a shout out. I had told the best. My sister-in-law. Yay! We're family. Come on. Christina. And listen, my brother is the only straight white man of the group, and he is a cop. So you know we are going to bust his bananas for the rest of life. Latte says never settle. Never. That's right. You keep going and don't settle for some Joe Schmo or plain Jane. You go get yours. Get someone that means something and is wonderful and treats you right. And if they don't, and they're not good, and you don't trust them, and they don't love you, and when someone tells you who they are, you better believe them. They are a cheater. They're a beater. They're a stealer. Get out. I'm going to be a hot mess for the rest of the show, so I'm just letting you all know that in advance. Oh, see, look at these in-laws. How cute. It makes me so happy. Come here, Clarence. Oh, yes. Well, what do we have to say? I don't even know what the heck I'm doing anymore. I've lost this whole damn show. I bought a Lions shirt because I'm a Lions for life, and I'm ready. Motor City. Here's my shameless plug. What the hell is this show even about?
'Cause I'm shameless.
I don't know what to say. I was so happy. And so grateful. The shameless plug is that tomorrow on the Broadway Podcast Network, for the first time ever, we're doing a preview of the Golden Globes. So it's not only going to be interviews, but if you want to see, and if you're into movies and you want to know what's going on Sunday at the Golden Globes, tune in to the Roundtable on the Broadway Podcast Network, where we are your award center for 2024. Starting tomorrow, you can hear the preview of the Globes, and then next week we'll have the recap on January 9th. So if you're interested, just go to the Broadway Podcast Network, wherever podcasts are heard. So if it's on Apple, if it's on Spotify, if it's on their website, if you're into the Golden Globes, make sure you be here. Next week, we celebrate 2 years of the Roundtable we celebrate? Is that why that happened? What the heck? We celebrate 2 years of the Roundtable with Adam Pascal from Rent. He's here the first time on the Roundtable, and he's going to be talking about his new shows with Anthony Rapp at 54 Below. You've seen him in Rent, you've seen him in Aida, you've seen him in Pretty Woman, and he will be here with us, and it's going to be a great show. So be ready. Alyssa says, even though I've been married for almost 12 years, every day is a choice. Someone told me a long time ago that marriage isn't a feeling, it's a decision. Love isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You must know Darius, because that's some good advice for sure. We choose to be in it every day and love each other. And that's great advice, Alyssa. And she's got beautiful babies. Come on, babies. Thanks, lattes. I appreciate it. It's the best week ever. So we lots of Roundtable friends have sent wishes. Isaac Mizrahi, Brenda K. Starr, Deanna DeGarmo, all sorts of people that have been in our fans of this show and have been great for this show. So thank you. The only other thing I have to say is go to robertbannon.com. We have a new show that's coming in February. If you're going to be in New Jersey and you like Patsy's restaurant, my residency at Patsy's continues. Grab your tickets. It will be in February. It'll be all about love. Love is in the air over here. Go to robertbannon.com and get your tickets. We only limit it to 50 people. So we've already sold about 12 today. So by tomorrow, we'll be halfway done by the weekend. So grab them while they still exist. And I hope you can come celebrate all that there is to celebrate with me. That's my news and my update. Let's go to a thank you. Mike Melfa is late to the party. He missed the story, but he's going to hear it on Sunday at the Golden Globes extravaganza. Congrats. Thank you. So happy about the life that you two are building together. We're building something, Mike, and we will always need you to come to red carpets. I told Mike, I will always need you to be at red carpets, and I will need you to watch bad theater with me, because somehow whenever me and Mike go to shows, they suck. My mom says you make each other happy, Robert and Darius, and that's the best ever. Thank you, Mom. That is the best part of waking up, is being happy. For a long time, God knows. Oh, Mike gave the 3 dots. They suck. We see bad shows. So, and then we come on here and we pretend we like them. Hey friend, hey, let's do it.
I'll be there for you. How you doing?
So, our hey friend, hey is, see, Mike says we see nothing but the worst. Literally, we've seen some of the worst. I got to see my Matt Gould is in town, and Matt Gould is back and here in New York because Lempicka comes to Broadway. It opens in April. It is worth seeing. If you're going to be here in June to see my Pride show, you need to come see Lempicka. It is bananas. I'm so proud of it. The Woman Is music video comes out tomorrow, starring Eden Espinosa. The song is bananas. I got to go over and see the boys. There's Apollo and Galileo. We went and celebrated there in New York, and I could not be happier that this dog is eating Tupperware. I could not be happier. Hey, I could not be happier for him, and I'm so excited to see this journey and this ride. So get your tickets, go see Lempicka, and welcome back to New York. And I have to give a shout out to my Detroit family. You know, my Detroit family in the house. So Jamaican Soul in Detroit. If you're in Jamaica, I promised a commercial. Jamaican Soul. If you want fresh and delicious food and you are in Detroit, you listen. You can get this catfish. I don't even know what I don't eat catfish because catfish has whiskers. You know, and I don't think you should eat anything with whiskers. A cow doesn't have whiskers. A chicken doesn't have whiskers. You know what has whiskers? A cat. And you wouldn't need a cat. But a catfish has whiskers. So I was always anti-catfish. And then Darius got catfish one day and he gave me a piece. And then I proceeded to eat all of his catfish. So if you like catfish, if you like candied yams, or if you like macaroni and cheese, if you like fried chicken, if you like fried pork chops, if you like chicken wings, if you like salmon with jerk seasoning or jerk chicken or salmon bites or rasta pasta, which is Jamaican spice pasta, you just go to Jamaican Soul. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, or call 313-719-6658. Tell them that we sent you over and get yourself a plate. Oh, oxtails? I don't even know what that is, but it's delicious, right? So get yourself some Jamaican Soul. If you're over in the Motor City, if you're rolling through Detroit, you got to grab yourself some of that. Auntie Maureen and Dia, look, I went to their house when we announced our engagement. And don't ever tell a chef and say, are these pork chops shake and bake? They were not shake and bake. I think that's insulting. I ate the catfish right off his plate. The lemon, you want the lemon? Oh, I'm getting told to be quiet. All right, well, Green Frog is cool. I'm happy you're a chef. You could also be nice. Don't be rude. Don't troll me on my own show. I'm gonna kick you right out. Yeah, there you go. I love it. Alrighty, everybody. Well, we have a show to do apparently, other than that. And I am excited to and Green Frog is cool, got banned. Don't troll me. Don't come for me. We have a great show for you today. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to being a part of the show. And having a great show. There's a show called Love Blood that was written. It's original. It's about vampires. It's really cool. And Courtney Reed is starring in a reading of it and a production of it at Joe's Pub, where all the cool kids play. Courtney Reed has done this show years ago when I was on a show called Quarantine Cabaret and Cocktails. She was the original Aladdin on Broadway and as Princess Jasmine. And now she is the star of Moulin Rouge. Me and Mike saw Moulin Rouge. Now, that was not bad. Mike, that was not a bad show. That was a good show. That we had a lot of fun with Moulin Rouge. Courtney Reed and me kiki, cackle, and have a good old damn time. Courtney Reed is back. Courtney Reed is back, and we're excited to have her. Take a peek. This is a fun interview. Diamonds Are Forever. You know, she knows the song. She sings at 8 shows a week. And Courtney Reed has been a princess. She's toured around the world being a princess. She's starred in all the shows. She has flown on the carpet. She still will not tell us how it happens. And now she is in Moulin Rouge. And then in her day off, in the middle of January, she's like, you know what? Let me do 2 shows at Joe's Pub just for fun because I can, and my voice is gorgeous. And that's exactly what it is. Courtney Reed was one of our first guests back in COVID during Quarantine Cabaret and Cocktails. She came on with Adam Jacobson. We talked about Aladdin, and I am so honored and grateful she took time out of her 162 projects to be with us here tonight.
Yes! So good to see you.
I am so happy to see you. What a journey and ride and fun it's been to watch you.
Get out. You're ridiculous. Oh my gosh, thank you. You're the best.
No, it is so true. I'm so excited, and I have to come over. I have to see the show. I have to see you do the show.
Wait, you have to see the show. You've seen it?
I saw it, and we had a great chance to talk to Titus, and I know he's about to be done, and this amazing cast, but I want to see you.
You gotta come see me. Oh man.
Look at this. Look at this gorgeousness look at this.
Oh my gosh, get out. Wait. Wow, airbrushed within an inch of its life. I love it.
I don't allow any pictures of me without being airbrushed within an inch. You know, this is you right here.
Oh, bless your sweet soul.
So before we talk about Love Blood and Blood Love and all that is vampires and all that fun, we know you from back in the Aladdin days.
Yes.
And then you go on to do Broadway and television and have this career. You do the Princesses on Tour and do all of this amazing stuff. And then you start the national tour of Moulin Rouge and tour the country. What was it like when you got the phone call that said, okay, Courtney, let's go. Head on over to the Hirschfeld and let's do this.
Oh my gosh. You know, when I booked the tour, I never ever anticipated moving to Broadway. I think a lot of people think like that's like sort of like the next step, and it's like that it isn't necessarily, you know. And so I think like I was having so much fun on tour. It was an incredible family that we built, and I had never toured before, so it was so fun and so exciting. And getting to take this show on the road for the very first time and bring it to these new cities was so exciting. And I always thought on the back of my mind, you know, I'd love to play this on Broadway. And when I got the call, it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going back to Broadway, and it just feels so crazy. And, you know, it's like every time I book something, I'm always like shocked and amazed, you know, because every time I book something, I'm like, this is definitely going to be my last job. You know, it's like as an actor, you always think that. And so it's just so great to be back in the city. And, you know, it's Christmas time, and, you know, the company is so wonderful. And I'm just like, I pinch myself like every day. I really do.
Well, if you haven't seen it, it is the perfect time to see it. This is the perfect time when you're in New York City. It is a spectacle, big, giant Broadway extravaganza with the costumes and the songs and the performances. And it is very immersive. You are transported in that theater every single night. You must not be afraid of heights, because, not giving things away, but I'm petrified of heights. What is that like?
You know, 4 years on a magic carpet really, really prepared me for the descent into basically what feels like the middle of the audience. Yeah, I guess I just fly in like all of my shows now.
That's it. You're the flying. I'm ready. That Wicked is next. What else flies?
Exactly. They're gonna revive. They're gonna revive Spider-Man, and I'll swing in on that too. Poppins, who knows?
Right. Mary Poppins right up to the scene.
Exactly.
If you need to tie up an actor and send them to the rafters, Courtney Reed is your person.
Call me, honey.
Call her. Well, when you got the call, you must get offered. I'm not trying to be facetious, but people want to hear you sing. People probably have asked you to do cabarets and concerts and readings and all this fun stuff. You're in a juggernaut of a show right now on Broadway. How do you pick a project, and why Blood Love?
You know, I think it's like, I think, you know, a lot of times towards like the middle of your career, once you've established yourself a little bit, you make a lot of connections with people that you absolutely love. And Daniel Clare, who's directing the show, he reached out and he was like, I think you'd be so amazing for this project. And he sent me the music and he sent me all the promo stuff. And I was like, wow. Okay, this is really impressive. They really have their stuff together. The music is amazing. It's so good. Like all of the songs feel like they could be on the radio. And who doesn't love a vampire musical? And he was explaining to me what the character was like. And I was like, okay, wow. She's like, you know, she's absolutely in my wheelhouse. Her name is Cleo, first of all. What a gag. I love it. And she's like this like fun, sexy, kind of ditzy friend that like makes all these like crazy choices. And I think it's just it's going to be a really fun time. And I haven't been back to Joe's Pub in forever. And so it was basically a no-brainer. I was like, I'm in.
Well, bloodlove.com, get your tickets. Go to publictheater.org and get your tickets to see the show. It sounds like super duper. Courtney Reed is Cleo.
Work.
January, you better work. Come on, that is my waist size right there. On January 15th, 2 shows at 5:30 and 9:30. Like I said, you have nothing to do January on a Monday night, people. Get a ticket. Just
get a ticket. Get it together. Come down.
While you get your tickets, you could just make your whole holiday grab bag a whole Courtney Reed extravaganza. Like, if you haven't been to Moulin, I'm telling you, people, it is so much fun.
It really is.
I went when it opened as a class trip. We went with all the teachers of New Jersey, which this is your show, Teachers of New Jersey. And then now I got to bring my partner because he's in Detroit and he loves a pop. He runs Motor City Pride. I mean, if you want Pride and you want playlists and you want pop music, you want a medley about diamonds by Courtney Reed and her singing your song to your face, you got to get your tickets.
Get them now before it's too late.
Yes. So when you look back now, you say mid-career in your career and you get to be a part of these big shows and these different places and literally have your face on buses and billboards around New York City. Do you ever look back to you as being a young theater fan and the journey and the ride and think, what the heck, how, what, when?
100%. Yeah, all the time. All the time. I think about, that I just think I never, ever would have anticipated this. And had I known, I don't know if I would have believed my younger self. I think, I'm like, as I get older, I'm just like, oh my gosh, time just flies so fast. And I don't want it to be over just because I'm just loving it so much. I'm just loving the journey. And of all the people that I've, become close with throughout all of the companies that I've been in, it's just like, I don't know, just feel a lot of gratitude and a lot of joy. And I just I'm like, I want to be a vampire. I don't want to die. I just love it. I love life.
I get it. The appeal of the vampire is deep because I was just saying, how much do you love a vampire who stays young and never gets old? And there's something so romantic and like sexy about a vampire.
I know.
Come on. And you not only did you have a great cast over at Moulin Rouge, but this cast, if it's Constantine, if it's Jelani Remy, if it's the people who have been with the show, the choreographers are like on So You Think You Could Dance and all those it's a full-blown moment.
No, it's a full-blown moment. It 100% is. It's very like immersive, it's going to be sexy and immersive, and it's going to be a moment. Yes, work.
Yes.
Come on, look at that photo.
A vampire rock opera, which
rock opera. What a gag.
A opera. I love it. I think that's perfect. I can't beat that. Where did you grow up, Courtney?
I grew up in Elgin, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago.
Okay. So you were close to a major city.
Yes. And then I ended up going to school in Chicago. And that's when I started auditioning for things. Like, that's when I got my experience auditioning for like commercials and industrials and musicals and everything. And that's how I ended up getting my very first Broadway show. I got an agent in the city and I'd be hustling in between classes, auditioning for things. And I really started to hone in on my skills of auditioning just through trial and error. And I think when you're really young, they sort of don't expect for you to come in and be perfect. And so I learned a lot about auditioning that way. And then, Mamma Mia was having auditions in Chicago, and I auditioned for it, and I booked Broadway, and it was just so crazy. I had never been to New York City. I'd never seen a Broadway show. And here I am, like, sitting at the Winter Garden Theater on literally the street Broadway, and was like, wow, I'm going to be in this show. I'm going to be on Broadway in like 2 weeks. And I was like 22 years old. And it was just like, $3, 2 bags, 1 week, It was so surreal. And I think back, I can really like remember how I felt in those moments when I think back at it, and I'm just like, wow, seeing 42nd Street for the first time. And it's all still so magical to me. It really is.
It is. And that's a magical story. It makes people like me who grew up here hear your story about being in the Midwest and never seeing a Broadway show till you were in one. And just, I'm so happy for you, Courtney.
Me too.
I just was, when I was talking about this show and we were just talking with the writers, we were talking about the Midwest because I was saying, I've learned about the Midwest and Michigan and Illinois, and she's from Wisconsin because we, as us coast, snobby elitists that we are here in New York, there's a huge art community. If it's Chicago, if it's Detroit, if it's Wisconsin, or all of these places, it's not just the coast. So there are people out there watching us right now. Go find local theater, go to school, do your school plays. What can you say to the community that helped you on your path to New York City?
Yeah, well, my upbringing was I took a lot of dance when I was a kid, but I love doing children's theater of Elgin. And what's so crazy is that my nieces are now doing that. And it's just a community theater. And that's where I got my love for theater. And I don't think I thought through it really. I just was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I love doing. I loved the family aspect of it. I loved that, I was always so depressed when the shows would end because I just loved the community and the rehearsal process and doing the shows. And it was just all so fun. I thought there's nothing else I'd rather be doing in life. And also I didn't have any other skill set. So I was like, well, if I don't make it, then I'm going to be starving on the street. And that's going to really suck. But I wasn't thinking about that. I was so young. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And it's okay if I don't make any money. I just love it.
Not only did you make it, you make us all really enjoy all the work that you've done. These shows are part of our history. There's an entire group of young theater artists out here who are going to be artists because they get to see the work that you create. And it's true. It's the truth. They're watching you and they're inspired and they're going to put up the next generation of great art. Here's my snarky, inappropriate question, Courtney Reed. It's not that inappropriate, but you wear the most beautiful costumes in Moulin Rouge. You are done, glammed from head to toe, and you are up there flying through the air. When you're done with this show, are you just going to eat an entire pizza? What is the plan? Because I want to be with you, and I want to have an ice cream sundae and a giant pizza with you.
Literally, honestly, that's what I do almost after every show. Because I wear the corsets, it's so hard to eat during the day. And so on my weekends, today is my weekend. And so I would go in, eat noodles and drink seltzer waters and things that really bloat me, because I'm okay, great. I don't have to do a show tonight. But I will do that throughout the day. I'll usually eat one meal, which is a breakfast lunch. And I usually fast up until maybe 2:00, and then I'll eat eggs, maybe a piece of toast or eggs and avocado, and then I don't eat. And then I'll have for the rest of the day, I'll have maybe a couple of peanut butter pretzel snacks before the show. I do the show, and then after when I get home, I'm yes, popcorn and stir fry and whatever it is. It's probably really bad.
No,
but I went to the ENT. They said I don't have any acid reflux, so that's great.
See, you're fine. You're
perfectly
fine. Everyone, go to publictheater.org for your tickets in October. It's THEATER. And of course, you got to follow Courtney on Instagram. If you're not following her, it's Rhodes Reed, RHODESREED. If you're listening to us on the Broadway Podcast Network, there's no more Broadway than Courtney Reed. We root and stand for you. Okay, I'm gonna pick a day. I'm coming. I'm gonna come to the theater. I need to see it. I need to see you in it.
Come on, you got to.
I want I want feathers and glitter everywhere. I'm ready.
Oh, I'll give you that. 100% guaranteed.
I know you will. Check out Blood Love. Go to bloodlove.com and make sure you check out Joe's Pub, where all the cool people are. I mean, if you want to be cool in New York City, you gotta
go downtown.
You gotta go downtown. Go to Joe's Pub. I was so excited to talk to you. I have such love and admiration for you, and I'm so proud of you. I can't wait. The journey.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh my gosh, how did you do that? That was amazing.
This is magic. That's that. We can't.
Wait, how did they do that?
What is
God,
that? What
that's
is going
amazing.
on?
How did you do that?
I didn't do it. It's not me. That's some Broadway magic.
I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Happy everything.
Happy holidays to you too. So good to see you.
She's so cute. She's the cutest human being ever. I love her. Look, Darius says, I love her energy. And Latte says she's pure delight. And Christine says, entertaining chat with Courtney may she continue to soar. It's funny. And her future musical projects. Yeah, I love Moulin Rouge. I love her energy. She was great as Jasmine. She's a wonderful person. And I was so grateful that she popped on because she's always a really good time. Yes, I talk about Detroit. I talk about Jersey. You know, I talk about those things with our next guest. You know what I noticed, Mike, and everyone here, that I don't see all the comments. So sometimes you guys are commenting on YouTube and they don't show up on my screen. So I didn't see, Darius say the dogs are going, the girls are going crazy, his girls. And I don't see all of them. We have an effects. I didn't know we had an effects budget either. Just what? Love? No? Congratulations. See? Doesn't work. I don't know how it happens. I probably should YouTube something. Right? Maybe if we read instructions. That's a good note for the new year. Carey Sharpe wrote the show. I had a chance to talk to her. She's from the Midwest too. And I asked her, and I talk more about my Midwest aspirations in love because, that's what you do when you're in love. Take a peek. She wrote this. She wrote double thumbs up as fireworks. How do we do it? Go. Hey. What is this? Born to hand jive, baby. Born to hand. Carey, go play. Well, our next guest is one of my favorite topics to talk about, and also I'm a little bit petrified because whenever we have a guest on that has done another career for such a long time and then has become a creative artist, I'm ready to quit my job. By the end of this chat, I'm going to quit my job and create a musical at Joe's Pub, just like Carey. Carey, welcome to the show.
Hi, Robert. Thanks for having me on.
I'm so excited to talk to you about your journey, or your artistic journey, and about this show. I led the witness here a little bit. You were working in pediatrics for a decade?
I was, yeah. So I started off, I was a musician growing up. I played violin starting at the age 3. And so I had a musical path for sure, but I decided not to go to music school and go to nursing school instead. So then, I spent 12 years working in pediatric critical care.
Wow. Well, thank you for all of that time, and congrats on the new journey and the next chapter as you've been working on. I understand. I was a musical theater kid, went to school for musical theater, had a bad audition, and became a teacher. So I get that sometimes our journey takes us a roundabout way to get to where we're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Blood Love has been something that has been cooking for quite a while. Can you tell us what the idea and how the idea came about, and what is it?
Sure. Well, after I left my career as a nurse, since we're getting into that segue, the next thing I did actually was open a theater. So I took even weirder path to writing a show that I started with theater instead of with the show. So after opening a theater, we started doing a bunch of different kind of immersive experiences in general. And we started imagining a very immersive vampire party. And we did this party. It was set to original music. It had a fashion show with all original designs, and it was just really well received and super cool. And we decided we wanted to build it out into more of an actual show. So I started writing some of the first songs and just kind of coming up for a concept for the show in general. It's not a traditional book musical. We didn't start with a book and then write songs to set to that story. We just kind of came up with our own concept, our own storyline. The entire thing is original, and we just sort of weaved it all together into now a 90-minute musical.
It is a full-blown 90-minute rock pop extravaganza musical. Wait, I think I
Right.
read this when I looked you up and read your bio and read about your past. You opened a theater, which if anyone knows about running a theater, opening a theater, taking over a theater, not the
Yeah.
easiest job in the world.
Yeah.
You're not going to become a multimillionaire by opening a theater. Where are you from? Where did you open this theater?
So it's in my hometown of Wisconsin, in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So that's why it was a little bit, we kind of were saving an old historic building is really what we were doing. And it's not a traditional theater. It's really more of a hall. It has a full stage and we have a sound system and, theater lights and such, but the floor is such that it's just open flooring. So we actually do a lot of other events in there. And we kind of set it up as a theater when we were doing shows from time to time. And of course, when we do this show.
Well, I'm obsessed with this whole idea of the Midwest, of Wisconsin, of you up there opening a theater, changing it into an immersive space. Immersive theater is such the in thing. We all want to be in 360. We want to be surrounded by the art and the artists that are involved in this. When we step in foot of Joe's Pub, where all the cool kids hang out, I want to be cool enough to be at Joe's Pub. Carey, I want my show. When you step into that space, it's so intimate, and it's the stage is right in your face. What can we expect to see? Music, story, attitude. What is an evening going to be in for us?
Well, I'm really excited about Joe's Pub because we kind of try to create that environment in our theater, and our theater is kind of a big blank slate. So we sort of have to haul everything in to basically create what Joe's Pub already is. So we feel like we've kind of found the perfect space for it. But yeah, the show moves all around you. I will say this version that we're doing in January is going to be a little bit more of a pared down concert version. The space is a lot smaller than our space that we've been doing it in prior, the stage in particular. So we're kind of paring it down to more of a concert version, but we'll still have a couple of our lead dancers and there'll be some other surprises in there. And, it doesn't just happen on stage. It definitely moves all around the room.
Well, while we're talking about it, we might as well just, if you want tickets, go to the publictheater.org, public theater, THEATER, if you're listening to us.org, or you can go to bloodlove.com and find out information. And you could always follow her on the gram at Carey Music. So your journey with this show, here's some of the artwork for the show. It looks beautiful. You're in the show.
Those are our two lead dancers, choreographers, and just a cool photo that was taken live during one of the shows. We sort of turned it into some artwork for our marketing, but that's actually Jonathan and Oksana.
And I was going to say, they're no slouches. You've seen them on television and through the dance world. And your entire cast for this show is no slouches at all. Would you like to tell us a little bit about who's performing and how'd you get them to say yes?
Well, so it's just, you start to build networks in this community. And I'm not in New York. I split my time between Wisconsin and actually Florida. So I'm not in either of the coasts. But I have dear friends now in New York and LA. And we just sort of have built our network, as a spider web. And, these days it's very easy to make connections all over. So our director, Daniel, knows a lot of Broadway performers because he was in Book of Mormon on Broadway for a while. And so he convinced one of his friends, Jelani, to come do the show with us, Jelani Remy, to come do the show with us last October. And it was phenomenal. And so when it was time for us to come to New York, we wanted to try to get a couple other professionals in there that had a lot of experience in the space. So we got Courtney Reed to join our cast. She's going to be playing Cleo. And then Constantine is going to be playing Anzik. So we're super excited. And then I'm going to continue playing the role of Valerie for the time being because I'm just not quite ready to let it go yet. But and it's fun for me. I don't perform on the day to day, so when I get to do it every a couple times a year, I really appreciate it.
This is your baby, so you need to play your part. Is this show? Would you call it a horror? Is it spooky? Is it dramatic? What is the genre? Is it new? What is it?
I would say it's actually more dramatic than you would think. It's not scary. It's fairly humanizing. We're modern day vampires, so it's not it's set in present day at a kind of at a nightclub called the Crimson, but it has a lot of funny, poignant moments. But I would say it has a lot of heart. It actually has a lot of feeling to it, and there's a lot of meaning behind the songs. We really wrote them as pop songs, so a lot of them were wrote about very personal things in my life and my co-writers' lives, and then we kind of made them fit the situations and the scenarios in the show, and so you wouldn't know listening to the show that they're about a breakup that somebody went through. It's just we kind of shaped them that way, though.
Well, that's the best art. It comes from the heart. I'm sure that's for sure. Well, while we're talking about it again, 2 performances. It's January 15th. There's a 5:30 show and a 9:30 show, and the tickets are super affordable, way cheaper than a Broadway show. You can get a ticket for $20 or $30. You can have a drink. You can grab some food, and you can see real Broadway. Jelani is on Broadway right now. Courtney is on Broadway now.
Yeah.
They're Monday night off doing 2 shows for you right there at Joe's Pub.
Yeah.
The public puts on and has created some of the greatest pieces of art and biggest shows on Broadway. If it's Hamilton, if it's Hell's Kitchen coming to Broadway next season, etc. Fat Ham, all of these shows that have been originated over at the public. Right. What is it like when you write these songs and they're your babies and they're your story and you give them away and you see them sung on stages, iconic stages by some of the greatest voices of our generation, really?
Well, it's hugely flattering to me that people have really embraced the music and really love the songs, and that they want to champion them and help us bring this show to the next level. So first of all, I'm very humbled by the entire experience, especially since frankly, I don't have experience in this space. I spent my, recent adulthood working in the hospital. So this is still very new for me. And so I'm very flattered by all of it. But I mean, it's going to be really exciting to put some new faces to the characters and just going to New York, the energy there is going to be so different. There's something really special about doing it in my own theater. It's a really good baking ground for us because we can kind of play with things. It's frankly a safe audience. It's a lot of our friends and family that come to fill the room. But it's still a really good place for us to kind of sort things out and in a friendly environment. And we can really do whatever we want with the space because it's literally mine. So going to Joe's Pub is a really big next step for us. And it's such a historic theater. And hopefully it's just going to be the next step on big things to come in the future for Blood Love.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And you have built some following based from this show. So what do you attribute the following, your social media following, the theater fandom following of the show? What was the thing that really clicked and kind of took this show and made it its own thing?
Well, partially because of the people that I have working on it with me. They have some following of their own. And then we've done the show several times now. So we do have some people that have actually seen the whole production, and we've been starting to get the music and we've done a couple of film screenings because we filmed the whole production last year, and we've screened the film a couple of times. So it just, starts to kind of get some following. And my co-writer, Drew DeCaro, he's written so many hits. He's got an awesome following, and Daniel's got a Broadway following. So it's just sort of everything accumulates when you're working as a team. Everybody's this is definitely a passion project for all of us. So, I think that really shows.
Absolutely. Well, I was checking out. The tickets are going. They're going. So you better grab them quick. Go to publictheater.org. Grab a ticket while you can. Go to bloodlove.com for more information about it. So I have 2 personal questions for you, Carey. They're not scary, I swear. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm born and raised in New Jersey, 1 mile from New York City. So I'm a little spoiled by the culture and art of New York. We're like these snobby East Coast New Yorkers, right?
Right.
Big New Yorkers. My partner lives in Michigan, and I always poo-pooed the Midwest, as you know, corn and cheese and things like that. If I was to move to Detroit, Michigan, or to Wisconsin, there's a whole big artistic community. I won't have to give that part away and put on overalls and a pitchfork. Teach us the stereotypes are not true out there in the Midwest.
No, not at all. So where I'm from in Wisconsin, the Fox Valley, there's a very robust arts community here. There's a huge jazz community. I don't have to bring in musicians from anywhere else because half my friends are professional musicians, and they work full-time as musicians in the community. We also have a conservatory in town in Appleton. So there actually is a very thriving arts and music scene here, which I think people do think is surprising, but we're really lucky to have that. We have a gorgeous performing arts center. We've got another beautiful historic theater in my town that does lots of really classic shows. So it is surprising how much music is here and that you can really be immersed in that in a little place like Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
It's beautiful. I love it. And then what was the moment you left your nursing job behind? How did you take that leap?
It was hard, actually. I really, really loved my career as a nurse. Honestly, I just had too much going on. I have 2 young children. So when my second was born, my son, I was already opening the Howard. I had another young child. My daughter was 3 at the time. So something had to give. I was working nights and driving down to Milwaukee. And it was just one too many things. And honestly, I was getting a little burned out. I was working in the pediatric ICU, and it's sad. It's a very challenging profession and one that I loved for many years, but it was time for me to do something else and follow a different path. So I still miss it. I actually think about going back sometimes, but we'll see. I've got a lot of life ahead of me. So I am a vampire. So, I've got lots of years.
Have you always been into vampires? Yeah.
I mean, I get asked this a lot. Who isn't? I mean, vampires have just always had their, if it was one show coming into fashion, then another. I mean, they're literally eternal and they're sexy and cool and everybody wants to live forever. So it's just a genre that I think has universal appeal. You don't have to be like a weirdo about it. I mean, we really aren't, I swear. But honestly, it's just kind of sexy and it gives people a way to sort of step into a different persona for the night. And when we do this around Halloween, we don't have people come in costume. We just have them all wear black. And so they can just sort of feel that character without having to be too much of a costume, if that makes sense. They get to personify it a little more.
Absolutely. So get decked in your black clothes. Come right after the holidays when we're all depressed and miserable and we have nothing to look forward to in the cold, dark winter here in New York City.
Black would be appropriate attire for that.
Yeah. Black is appropriate. Broadway show season is over. The openings are all done. It's the middle of the winter. We're all looking for something to do. And at 5, you have nothing to do at 5:30 on a Monday, and you have nothing to do at 9:30 on a Monday. So just go to publictheater.org and get your tickets and get your vampire. I know you all have watched Dancing with, Interview with a Vampire and True Blood and Buffy the Vampire and all of the twilight of it all. You love them. We all love them. So we're here for it.
It's a guilty pleasure. No matter which one is your favorite, I've watched them all and they're all great in their own way. And some are kind of cheesy, some are, pretty impactful. So it just, the genre has gone through a lot of different iterations and now we're bringing our own story to it. I mean, we really kind of came up with our own creative story for vampires. So I'm excited for people to see it.
I have Blood Love, a vampire rock opera comes to Joe's Pub in January. Make sure you get your tickets. Like we said, it is January 15th, 2 shows at 5:30 and 9:30. Catch it before it heads on to bigger theaters and bigger stages and you can't get a ticket. Because who knows what, I know what they got plans. I know that for sure. Thank you so much. Not a classy show. Thank you for sharing your art. And I'm gonna think about that Midwest art life. Carey, fine.
It's great. I swear. You can come see a show at my theater.
Done. That's it. I'm going to audition. I'm going to send you my 32 book. I'm ready.
Perfect. I love it.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, there you go. Blood Love comes to Joe's Pub, and they were great, and I appreciate you all. Thank you. Hey, how are you, A? Yes, thank you for the congratulations. I so appreciate you. I was just telling earlier that I met Darius the day after your wedding. And I don't do vampire things, really. I did see Twilight, and I did used to watch True Blood, and I have seen Interview with a Vampire, and I did see a show with Christian Slater. He was in it, right? Wasn't he a vampire? Appreciate you all. It does, Christine. It looks sensational. It's time to experience a popra. And that's funny. Don't leave Jersey. Rhonda, I taught your babies already. I taught them. I taught the girls. You've had Mr. Bannon. So Mr., who knows what the road will lead. But Jersey will always be, my family and my heart are here, no matter where I am. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be somewhere. I'm going to the gym after this because A, I ain't gonna be no chunky wedding over here. B, Christian Slater was not a vampire? Wasn't Christian Slater in Interview with a Vampire? I think Christian Slater has been a vampire. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Christian Slater, George Lopez. I've lost my mind. I'm going to the gym because A, I'm not going to be a chubby bride. Not there's anything wrong with that. B, I'm going to live forever because I'm happy like a vampire. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I appreciate you. Next week is 2 years of the Roundtable, which is insane, people. 2 years with my cousin Michelle's future husband, Adam Pascal. Adam Pascal from Rent, Tony nominee superstar, will be here, and we're super excited about it. We have a really great set of shows coming to you this month. Don't miss it. Robbie Benson will be here from Ice Castles and from movies and TV and everything that he's done. And we'll have a whole big extravaganza, plus the cast of Peter Pan that's on tour, plus the opening of the French Republic with ER's Anthony Edwards, plus Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, Ant-Man himself, will be stopping by a event with Paul Rudd. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. Y'all better hold on to your hat. Come join the journey. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. The best truly is yet to come. And babe, I'll talk to you so soon. Thank you for showing up and being here and choosing me. I choose you and love you so much right back. Love is in the air. It sure is. To the next one. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for all that you are and supporting this journey with me. I appreciate you. I don't know what else to say, but thanks. And see you next time right here on the Roundtable. Good night, everyone.